Hi, welcome to the How to Create a Domain Activity video. When picking a domain, it's best to think of one that you will spend a lot of time in and which you would like to speak the language. Some examples could be the kitchen or the soccer field. When choosing an activity, it's best to think of something simple to start out with, such as breakfast, pouring a bowl of cereal, or even cooking a breakfast of eggs, sausage, and potatoes. After picking your activities, the next step is to create a word list. You can do this by looking for words in the Pit River database or the Webinary. And you can look up keywords, especially verbs are very important in Pit River, as well as some nouns. And you can compile them into a list that might look something like this or this. After creating the word list, the next step is to write a script or map out the steps in the activity that you chose. Some examples of this can be, cutting the potatoes and then pouring them into the pan. And then when they're finished, pouring the potatoes onto the plate, cracking some eggs, pouring them into the bowl, mixing them, pouring them into the pan, etc. One thing to focus on here is on the verbs, the actions that you're doing in these activities. Nouns are important as well, but they're a little bit more interchangeable depending on the activity that you're doing. The final step is to implement this activity into the chosen domain. Practice this every day, every time you step into the domain and perform the activity. Use the language as much as possible. And eventually you'll start to remember it and it'll feel a little bit more natural to use it. And then once you can, do that activity completely in the language, then you can start adding more vocabulary and making the sentences a little bit more complex. And that's how you build up. I hope this video has been informative and has helped you get an idea of how to create a domain for language learning. Thank you.
Run and then it's all like this. Dawa!
Dawa!